everyone, Angie here, and Holly is here as well. I hope you're okay today, and as usual I'm going to be doing my Talk Tuesday mystery tin topic. As you can see, push these down. You can see there's lots of post-its in there. If I get the same one as last week though, I'll have to put it back. I'm just going to be shuffling it here now. I'm just going to pull one out and I don't know what it is. So, this one's all folded up. It says, common money blocks. Okay, it's turned round there, but that's what it is today. And money blocks is one of those things that actually is quite a good thing to talk about as we're coming up to Christmas, because that's when a lot of us, we worry about money. Even though it's a thought that counts, a lot of us, go into debt over Christmas. We put things on our credit cards. And I read something the other day actually, and I can't remember where I read it, but it was all about how this year people have changed, and it's all about the experience of Christmas again, bringing back the old-fashioned Christmas. And it's all to do with family and helping each other and soup kitchens, charity, all that sort of stuff. And the material side has been, downsized a little bit this year. So I think that's all a good thing. And I think a lot of the thing about Christmas should be about family, friends, making sure people aren't lonely around this time of year, doing a bit to help others. And also it is the thought that counts. All this materialism, it has gone a bit too much over the years. So I think it's quite nice to have a little bit of a more simpler Christmas this year. Okay, having said that, I'm going to talk today about money blocks. First of all, what are money blocks? What they are is, as a mindset specialist, Rapid Transformational therapist, I work with the mind, and a lot of these negative beliefs that are affecting our lives, most of the time without us even knowing about it, they're formed in childhood, sometimes in past lives if you're open to that, and I've seen enough to have an open mind about that side of things. But most of it is in childhood, and you might not even be aware of these beliefs, but they're affecting how you are in your day-to-day life. So when we're talking about common money blocks, a lot of them in the Western world tend to be about spiritual blocks, and they're to do with things that we got taught at school. Maybe if you went to a church school like I did, I went to a Church of England school, and we had church every Friday, and a lot of the sermons were all about money. So some of it was it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than a rich man to go to heaven. That was one of them. And then there's also money is the root of all evil. And these things get drummed into us as children. So even if we're not consciously thinking about that now, if you have issues with money, maybe you're not earning the amount of money that you feel like you deserve. Maybe you've got tons and tons of qualifications, but yet you're still not earning the money that you should be for that. Maybe you self-sabotage a lot. Maybe you have a problem saving, so you have to spend everything you get. And again, that's because possibly that you have the thought that money is the root of all evil, so you don't want to have any of it. Okay, so that is a common money block. Other common money blocks are you have to work hard for money. It doesn't just come to you. It doesn't just grow on trees. What else is there? Rich people are greedy. Some people have the thought that you can't have love and money. That's another common one. Hi Rose, nice to see you. I'm doing my Talk Tuesday again, and the subject that's come out is money blocks, which is interesting this time of year. So I've just been talking about the most common ones, and a lot of the time people don't even know they've got money blocks. Okay. Thanks for the heart, Rose. So a lot of them are spiritual, and then a lot of it's what you got told off your parents. Sometimes money blocks aren't things that you've actually got told, they're things that you've seen. So if you've watched your parents act a certain way with money, maybe money was hard when you were little, maybe you had hand-me-downs, things like that, then the message that you were getting is money is hard to get. And then you start to think that that's normal, that that's how you should be as an adult. Maybe you might even feel guilty then to have more money than your parents, so you keep yourself at a certain level. And that's there's a book by Gay Hendricks, The Big Leap, and that's all about how there is like an imaginary ceiling that some people have, and it's like, I only deserve this amount of money. So then if you get more than that, then you start self-sabotaging. So maybe you'll start, spending it on, useless stuff that you don't even need, just so that you can keep at that level. Or maybe you'll lose your job, or you'll sabotage yourself so you can get out of that job so that you can go back to a lower level. So it's all really interesting, these money blocks. So how do you know that you've got them? And really, one of the ways that you know if you've got them is if you're struggling with money, okay? If you know that you've got bad habits around money, so maybe you're a shopaholic, you just keep buying things for the sake of it. Maybe you're not a very good saver, okay? You find it hard to save money. But on the other edge of the scale, there's people who save too much money and don't want to spend it, so they're like hoarders. And I had a job a few years back where I was managing people's money, deputyships and power of attorney and so on, and it was really sad that some of these people were in care homes and they had almost $1 million in the bank. They were living in such poor conditions before they went into a care home, a lot of them, where they weren't putting the heating on, stuff like that, and yet they had all this money in the bank. And again, that is a sign of a block for some reason. It's like you need that money as like some sort of protection and you're too scared to let it go, maybe because you don't think there's going to be any more money in its place. So that's another block. So have a think about how you are with money. If it comes in, you spend it and you save it and you manage to pay all your bills and everything's fine, then it's likely that any blocks you have aren't serious. But what I found working with people doing this rapid transformational therapy and so on is that everybody has some form of money block. Some of it's not very serious, sometimes people are managing it, but if you're struggling in any way, you don't feel you're earning what you deserve, you're finding it hard to get money, or sometimes it could be that you get some money, you win some money, and then a big bill comes in, so it comes and goes. So all that sort of thing are signs that you've got a money block. Okay, so how do we get rid of them then? So there's lots of ways you can get rid of them. There's lots of free resources out there, so you can look on YouTube, for instance, and there's lots of guided meditations and hypnotherapies all about getting rid of abundance blocks, they're called, or money blocks sometimes, so there's that. You can do your own affirmations and just say them over and over. I always find that if people have got money blocks, it's because the mind's protecting you and keeping you safe, okay? So I think one of the best ones that you can do is it's safe too. So anything that you're scared of, it's safe too. So you could say, it's safe to have money, and that could be your new affirmation that you say to yourself, and write it places so that you start to get used to having the money. Because at the end of the day, money is just energy, okay? It can't be used up or destroyed, it's constantly flowing, the universe is abundant, so it's trying to get into that message that there's enough for everyone. Another thing as well is some people feel guilty for having a lot of money when other people are starving in the world. But what I say is, if that you are the one that can get that money, if you know you've got the skills and everything that you can get that money, some people in other parts of the world may not have that, you can be the one that gets the money and then gives it to them, okay? So you can actually give more, so you can get rid of the guilt that way and, help people that way as well, okay? Because it isn't bad to have money, and a lot of the stuff that the Bible tells you, if you read a lot of it, there's a lot of stuff in there that people don't believe today. I mean, all the bits about, being gay and stuff about where, if you're not happy with your children or your parents, punish them and all that. And that's also a lot of them things we don't believe these days from the Bible. A lot of them are metaphors anyway. So the thing about money is the root of all evil, that's not true. It actually does say, I think it's, what's the actual word for it? I'm not sure the exact word, but it isn't money is the root of all evil, it's something else. Like the love of money, I think it is. The love of money is the root of all evil. So it's how you use it. If you're a good person and you have money, then you're going to use it in good ways, because you're not going to change personality and money's not going to change you that much. Whereas if you're a bad person, then possibly you're still going to be a bad person even with money. And the one thing that I always say as well is, if money is the root of all evil, then even if you had 1p, then you would be evil, or 1 cent, wouldn't you? Okay. And also, why do churches go around with collection trays asking for money if it was evil? Okay, so I'm hoping that might have released a block there for a lot of you watching, if that was one of them. And as I say, the others, it's just a matter of looking at your childhood, any things that happened to you around money, and then realising that was you as a child thinking that, and now you're an adult, you know, that you're thinking differently, now you're choosing to think differently. If you have really deep blocks, you can have hypnotherapy, rapid transformational therapy, and that will sort out, go to the root cause of what your block is and release it if you're really, really struggling. But other than that, I hope that you've released the main one just now with the spiritual side. Okay, money isn't evil, it's not going to change with the person, and it is just energy. Okay, so that was my talk for today. Thanks for watching, Rose. Lovely to see you watching, and I will see everyone tomorrow for Wee Woo Wednesday. Bye for now. Bye.